3, 2, 1. Danganronpa.
Konnichiwa, my gamers, Jeremiah, Demi Boy here, and welcome back to Honkai Impact. So today, guys, we're gonna continue doing the casework, and we're almost done. My goodness. The first up is Talk. Dr. Tesla, expert new Snoop. What is your nickname? What happened, Tesla? You so bored. What happened to her?
Are they naked?
Calm down. She's fine. At least for now. For now? No. Tesla, please be straightforward in this kind of emergency. Then let me speak to us yourself. Ants, connect Ryan. Doctor, Miss Edmund. In the world, Miss Fukawa and I encountered unknown enemies and fell in the ambush. Miss Fukawa is facing the enemies. Though they cannot still hurt us for now. We are indeed outnumbered. Ambush? Was the interest of Honkai Beast involved in this level? It is not Honkai Beast, while Miss Boyle was taking their full thanks to the sounds of gunshots and explosions. Honkai Beast did not use point fingers. Then what is happening? Is the missing Valkyrie squad? Yes, it's the Valkyrie squad that lost contact on the mission of hunting the phantoms. Though we don't know why the hostage told you to alone just by our counterattack. But if the possibility, please don't take their lives.
Do you know
Dr.
who I'm at?
Did you will included? We are in no place to pull our pushes. Don't worry, leave that to me. I happen to know a few tricks that can rip people's minds. I can quickly them without hurting them. Then guess I'll have to trouble you. To join the fight, Miss Alden. I have a plan. Time incident first. Tell me about on the way.
You fall again. I'm not helping.
Oh, what was that? I see it over there.
There's a lot with me in the house.
It's fine.
Hey, you guys are fighting?
Dying by something.
I'm pressing Miss Sidecock. Copy. I'll leave time to you, Miss Alden. Secretly, and I'll spread it with flash bombs. Ooh, this way they will eat their own medicine. Ooh, go! Copy, find the bombs. Get fucked! Aha! Oh, you two find each other! Haha, yeah, you so fucked. Oh wait, that's fucker, I'll take it back. There's no Evangelistas who can still be detected. Look over there, many deadly Valkyries. Huh? There's some over there, someone seems to be... Jeez, dead as bodies.
No, go away!
Look at that as body! Very sexy. Who's that? I saw you soak my body in hot water. Ah, so refreshing. Dad, I heard sound a lot exciting coming from the sensory. Tired already? This is not like you, Mr. Detective. The antidote are not always good himself with grace, no matter what difficulties he faces. I'm sorry, Mr. Alien, but fashion and reality are actually two different things. Anyways, do we really have to do this thing?
The coin! Stop the coin!
No.
I'm kidding.
Well, still else has presence even and single bodies were
I
found.
have to walk now, I'm too hungry.
After we managed to carry the two bodies back, everyone got directed to the skin. Saul is still in a state of support. Dr. Esler put her in the room to rest. It's late at night. We're all exhausted, anxious, and uncomfortably wet before planning the next move. We will need our bath. But before that, I have something to do. I found Dr. Douglas, who has lost a daughter alone in the hall. Do you have a minute, Doctor? What can I do for you, Miss Adley? I'd like to talk to you in the private, but not in here. I dangling a small device before his eyes. That's like, take for a second. I see. As private as possible. Well then, talk to you later. I left the meaningful smile and turned into my room. The bathtub is filled with hot water. I tried the temperature, slipped into a bathtub, and slowly sank into the bathtub. After just in the of the small warm paradise, I turned on my transcription. I cast a splash water in the bathtub. The gentleman on the other end of the line didn't make me wait long. Alright, are you taking a bath, Miss Adley? I answered his question with a silly chuckle, and we started to talk in this unusual after spiel. Alright, what do you want to talk to, Miss Adley? I'd like to hear your opinion about this case. You must have discovered some clues. Talking about thoughts with others make it easier to sort out, isn't it? There was a short slice. Oh, he must be debating whether he or not is the card he holds on the table. I thought so, with a smirk. I'm not asking to hear your opinion for free, Mr. Detective. My cousin may help you too. This is fair exchange. Alright then. Regarding this murder, the biggest question is the murder really among us? The reason why you have this question is because of Grey Servant, isn't it? Is this Among Us reference, maybe? Yes, according to Raven, Grey Servant knew he was found out by Mr. Jaws and he has been involved in the human experiment considered in the 7,000 before the Colosseum, so he killed him and sealed his lips. Jackal and Raven were also part of this. So Grey Servant got away with the term too to spare himself any further troubles. The logic behind his description seems flawless in terms of Widner, but if you put more careful thoughts into it, you will find a paradox. The word written with blood. Ooh! Correct. Reggie, revenge is the word about the crime scene. If it wasn't a message left by the victims, then it must be the word of the murder out of some kind of reality. The description of the crime scene obviously agree with the later speech. Yes, the murderer has been charged his/her motive to all of us by leaving that sacred world. If Grayson was the murderer, the version would make no sense. I see you have to completely cross Grayson off. Can't say that for sure now, but at least the two murders that need the help of Grayson before the murder. What's more, according to the screen of Grayson and Raven's death, neither of them could have evaded the world who died first. I think you're right. If there was no word on the wall, I would have been the body died in the friend's life. It's obvious that the murderer never indeed to hide. He/she left the world to focus of his or her revenge. Besides the motive, there's something unusual about the wound on Grey Silver's back. I checked it. It's a very hard injury. There was no way he could look around the day to fight from to death. I'm surprised that he could even more. The degree of the person suggests that he'd been dead for several days. A demon has been walking around and committing murder. That just became a ghost story. Trust me, Aaron, I know cops very well. And that's why I started to wonder if I should still treat these cases as a normal serial murder. If Lashley is no longer with us, I don't know how I should continue my destruction. I slightly adjust by putting it in my bathtub and the water rippled. He clearly wouldn't believe what I just said. But I believe when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however impossible, must be the truth. What if we look at it from a different angle? Revenge who would hate these victims that much? Then we must look at the experts of the victims. A few hours ago, we heard the cause of the World Jackal, Grayson, and Draven. Human experience on Earth and the cause of the prison, they will all get of these directed and interesting. Let's assume for a moment that there was someone who lost everything in the tragedy but somehow survived. Then this person will both be the victim and the witness of that tragedy who knows everything about him. Boy on, that child has a motive to seek revenge on them. Wait a sec. I remember Jackal and Raven were invited by Mr. Jones' help wanting to get her brief equipment. But what if the lazy was just the bait from the very beginning? So Jackal covered Mr. Jones' wishes data, while Raven was trying to find Careless and Soa. And what Grayson wanted and was Jackal and Raven's lives. I see. It was an wonderful effective bait. I paused for a moment and gave his son a chuckle. Sounds logic, but you miss one thing, Mr. Detective. John and Bond both have perfect alibis. They were with us when the murders happened. Yes, hardly. That was what has been the brave of me. My intuition tells me. The personal environment in this case, which all my learning has been forcing my brain to ignore. I guess the legend of Helmus is just a fictional character as well. I see my sister didn't score highly in food. I stood up from the water without making any remarks. The bubbles in my bathtub are running out. I have to go. But chill, Doctor. I think you're getting closer to the truth.
Just go to the fucking bed. Just go.
Okay, let's do it first. Do you think you're now waiting to tell me, Dr. Einstein, what is this too and that Miss Joe has been tracing these years? I leaned forward from the blue-haired lady on the other side of the table is in passage straight at the eye. Moments later, she let out a deep sigh as if she just decided to get something up important. You won, Doctor. What I'm about to tell you is the biggest secret of the laboratory of the serious important situation. I trust you, but please don't put me in the circumstances requiring me to take dramatic measures. I'm conscious about my ability to keep secrets. You don't have to worry about that. To be honest, I'm surprised and flattering that you agreed to reveal the secret to me without persistation. So if you have died, I have no other choice. And I'd like to know what secret are hidden behind this institute. In the case, all else, do you know what was used to be the system of laboratory? Of course, everyone knows. But what do you know about his past before he joined laboratory 2? Now that I imagine it, I just realized that there is no incident about what Joe's past. It's because of the institute's strict inter-control measures. We used to be issued top secret samples before he was transferred to a lab 42. Yes, sample for the experiment. Code name 1. You don't need to know his real identity. I can't reveal it anyways, but I can tell you that 2 world has been tracing, with only 2 copies of 1 that the install has successfully made back in one sealed sample. The only 2 copies? Wait a sec, is that being Jeffrey? You indeed, inclusively, Doctor. Yes, the boy whom you met in one of the top copies. Who without this was directed to something really means. But unfortunately, those 2 boys did not get the world's powers. Don't mind that. In short, as they failed to meet expectation, the Institute dropped dismissal 2. Upon learning of this Institute with the influence of Lab 42, they managed to protect one of them at last. But the other one went missing ever since. I see, so Mrs. Rose acquired the Institute. The missing 2 was lasting in Seth Felton. Unfortunately, when he acquired the Institute, the castle already struck. So he led Lab 42 to self-forging not just to fight against disaster, but also to invest the of 2. Correct. Our information is in the issue told us the cause of the casualty unsung has something to do with the sudden experiment, but we couldn't find any records of the particulars and details of the experiment. So that's why it's also held outside the experiment. What did you say? Knock knock. There was a timely knock on the door. It's open. I ended this conversation before Dr. could ask any more questions. Oops, am I talking to you too? What's wrong, Aaron? I just came to inform you the sword just woke up. Oh, yes! Right, saw Jeffrey. So, Jeffrey was sitting by her bed. Oh, he's being cute. But it was her stepsister, Brian, who was with him, well than Dr. Tesla. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Brian. Where's Dr. Tesla? She's still studying the data about the Phantom, but Joy wants to check in on Sora. Brian, there's something I'd like to talk about with the doctor. Can you take Jeffrey somewhere else for a minute? Sure, come on, Jeffrey. Jeffrey took Brian's hand and they went out together. She thus made me begin to tell my husband. From what I saw, they were all close as siblings with blood ties, but can't imagine she came to follow this tradition. Jokerstein told me Brian killed Jeffrey for the girl in the opening, but she didn't make it in the disaster. Joey's true identity cannot be known, and he's been really weak with that walking was impossible for him until recently. It's the first time Brian has seen him in 5 years. Maybe she was reminded of someone from memories. So, how did you feel? I'm much better now. So her eyes were dull, her voice weak, and her face washed by tears. Apparently, she had learned Raisin's death. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions? She nodded softly, and I pulled a chair close to her bed to sit down. Could you tell what happened last night? From the blackout until now? I never saw it, and I had this weird dream. It's okay, just tell me what you still remember. Last night, after the blackout, I felt someone grab me from behind. I screamed and tried to break free, but then something hit me in the head, and I passed out. And then, I don't know how long passed, but I was somewhere when I woke up, a small alley, I think. My hands and feet were all tied up and I tried to scream for help, but my mouth was stuffed with rag. I struggled to get up and look around, and then I saw him. He was in the black cloak and his face was behind the mask. He just stood there in the wing and he didn't say anything. I wanted to ask him who he was while he took me, but my head was swimming and I couldn't see clearly, and Zora was frowning and listening with her memories. I waited quietly for her to continue. And then he took out a knife and began to wipe it. On swipe 2, 3. My mind wanted to escape, but my hand was too dizzy, and all I could think of was sleep. Dizzy? Grade 7 doctor? No, I ran a blue test on her last night, and no reason of Assassination was found. After a while, the man finished wiping the knife and turned to me. I was scared to death, but I couldn't even scream loud. He walked up to me and I lifted his knife. I held my breath for what came next. Just Sensei. She shows up. Oh? So she made it just in time? So no, and then look away. Kept the tearful face from us. Sensei, she fought the marksman hard. I never saw her so angry. Then what? What did you see after? The marksman was losing and Sensei knocked him out. So we called his match a so far, but it was her next word that really mattered. We killed the Sensei and wrote the word in blood. I didn't see it. I fell asleep.
I'm getting
Asleep?
I'm
After Sassy beat down the bad guy, she woke to me. Once I knew we were safe, I couldn't hold back the sleepiness any longer. My eyes became heavier and heavier. When did you wake up? Just right now, in the room. Boyan was taking care of me. She told me to Sensei I came out alien before. Nothing at all? No, but I had a weird dream when I was asleep. Dream? What kind of dream? In the dream, I became someone else, a girl dressed in blue. This is uncanny. Right when we fought Jack is Bargain, it seems to have seen the girl blue chill. The girl seemed very sad. I started to feel sad too. The girl, did she do anything to you? No, in the dream, I was her. I saw him holding my hand in the tiny ring. I couldn't see his face clearly. He kept saying something, but I couldn't understand. It's just a bad dream, right, Doctor? The moment I wanted to confirm her, I was struck by Violet's dizziness. That was not the first time.
Call for emeralds. I don't have that
I
much.
opened my eyes again, so into the were all gone, and all I could see was an Urza's shadow. Fine.
I'm too poor. Stop.
Stop it. The girl in blue was being so, and moved back became her. Hey, it's her!
Oh my god.
I have the
so
skin too, so
noisy.
it's pretty cool.
Go away.
I know.
I go, these two?
That's why I stayed
That's
away
very
from
weird.
them.
Jackal, what did you do to Jeffrey?
Was it Neil?
Easy now, Josie. Jeffrey milk and ability are almost done. Testing is over now. But he's just a kid. Keep your wishes cool. He's just a test subject, a meaningless achievements in the end. Jackal and Josie. Jackal looks pretty much the same, but Josie seems a lot younger. They seem to be fighting over Joffrey. Joffrey? Why would the name Carfield? That makes no sense. Are we gonna fight? Are you fighting?
I need
Hello?
to make wood.
I see you waving in.
Right now.
Oh, who's that guy?
I'm gonna drop it. Wait, I don't
You
know.
leaving?
Also,
Of course, you bitch. I'm done my part and got paid. Just for me to linger. Staying with this history. History? What does that have to do with me? Still the even I know. Still the even I know. True. True that. Oh.
anything that
It's going all red. Is it because of this thing with Jeffrey in it?
almost.
Jeffrey, are you alright? They say I'm sick and it's bad. Is it true, Mr. Josie? You're not sick. Trust me, everything's fine. Sick? What happened to him? Oh no.
Yes, but you're not placing it locked. He's actually full. You have to
He
find
moved
the
for a
thing
second. I saw that. Hey, it's Brian. She looks more adorable. Shh. I think
I
Josie's
want
not going to
mine
trip
there
it.
now.
We can't trust anyone for the trust. Not even Miss Josie. Don't worry, I'll keep you both safe. Oh, that's
You should get
Brian.
away.
Thank you, but oh. What the? Why is it two?
I'm gonna walk up to you.
Oh, once again, only this time came much more realistic. I opened my palms and found two small soft hands which clearly belongs to untaken. I noted what I was yourself and think about the test took place 5 years ago. But why? What does strange memory come to me? Whose memory is this? Is this the girl who started with me? Then the person for it? With a million questions, I slowly walked to this child of darkness. The rose is red, the fire is blue. The haze is sweet and so are you. The rose is red, the man is blue. We will dismiss and so are you. She never turns on its face to me. Always seems to clean the words where again it's physical. I pick up my pace trying to catch up, but the harder I tried, the further she got away, and all of a sudden, I was cast off from this dream world. Oh no. Oh, we're done. What has happened? Doctor, doctor. Suddenly his voice became clear. I explained to you as if I woke up from nightmare. What just happened? You froze all of a sudden, and then you abruptly stood up and opened the window. Matter you see yourself. I still clearly remember everything I saw in the dream, and I'm almost sure if the hint led me by something. Wait, a hint? I'm instantly lost in my thoughts, deep inside by between Shiva and Jasmine the ladies.
We need to sleep.
The rose is red, the May is blue. May is sweet, and so are you. The rose is red, the May is blue. We were the sisters, and so are you. Today we found what in this room. The part of the letter we received was cut from the crime scene. So I think this might be the measure left by Mr. Joyce? Yes. Oh. The girl in blue dream was humanly the same poem as the one mentioned at the single word. Put aside the concept of poem, if this message was not originally written by Wissing, then I thought Wells knows that I found in his room. By the time Mr. Soros was scoping the manga, which seems to be written down assumedly, it's been going on for months. I think it's the word out the middle of him, but he can't figure out either way. Why do I keep having the same dream? Why do I keep seeing that girl, and why is she always so mournful?
I need shoes now.
I don't know. The girl in blue. If what the girl in our experience was the girl trying to send a certain message. Definitely! You followed all of a sudden, and then you actually stood up and opened the window, muttering to yourself.
Where's the place
I don't know, but we only heard Wolf's voice outside the door, which was why we thought he was making a phone call. Well, must have been a dream. Well, he was killed by Great Servant who happened to be sneaking to at that time. But who stopped Great Servant? Who could have been? In Will's building, there was another one man lying on the floor. A dagger, which might be the one who killed Walter, was sticking in the
Where's mine that gold?
We always had the motive. There's something unusual about the wound on Great Servant's back. I checked it. It's a fatal heart injury. There was no way he could look around for days and fight for a measure to death.
What?
The good defense suggests that he's been dead for several days, which means Great Servant probably is dead at the same time as well, but he's saying who killed him. And how did the close murder Jack and kidnap Silva? The biggest question is, what was the wish of the girl in the blue who's been trying to send me? I thought of what I saw in the dream. It was a girl man with an experiment happened 5 years ago. Josie was arguing with Jacko. The witch is in charge of the experiment. We even had received the visit of the lead. And Brian seems to have found out something. She was keeping a watchful eye on Josie. In the dream, I was the girl. Wait, I was her? I bet I'm the one for discovering something that was too obvious to be noticed. You froze all of a sudden, then you stood out and opened the window.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm about to die.
So, when I was in the dream, my body was actually moving in rowdy? If I was the girl in the dream, then who was being rowdy? Indeed a wild guess, but if it's true, then the message left by Rope, Great Servant, and the corpse, and the world with the blood, the puzzle piece could form a pattern. No, cool yourself down. Call your Jordan. You're so close, but there's something more than to him. If it was really the girl who was controlling my body, then the action of opening the window must be something. With this thought, I took a deep breath and looked out the window. I see. So, what's wrong, Doctor? Before you came to Safari, did you or anyone around you use perform or glow flowers? I don't think so. Sensei has been taking good care of us, but we couldn't afford that. Thank you. That's very helpful. To the S-sign, could you please find something for me from the institution database? I said database? S-sign noted in surprise. As long as it is not specified, what do you want to know? Well, I just need to roll off the potassium. Oh, okay. After murder, we'll just fragment number 4. What is it? Dr. White, the issue of the blood because everyone has been made by someone's soda. Oh, we can't really know this. It's too cruel for a child. We are in this empty room in the underground lab for the mansion, which is now a bit crowded due to 3 corpses lying inside. Oh God! Have you checked Mr. Jesse's part of the prison room next door? Yes, I have. Indeed, it is him, and I checked all the vital signs. He's dead for real. I'm curious, did you already suspect Saul being your visit for today? Just a simple guess based on the position of the scaly word on the wall. It was almost level for Raven's head, who died sitting on the ground, leaning against the wall. And a dog of normal height who need to bend over to squat down with the wood, which would not be a comfortable position for the writing, but the words was always sword smoothly, which means the line on the words was likely to be the same height as a child, and there happened to be a child on the scene. It's common sense, not a law, so it cannot be used as evidence in legal proceedings. You're winning as ever, Doctor. But the position of your reasons for fact and common sense will reach sounds. I agree with Miss Anthony. The decision this time is just impossible. Do you really think the possibility of the serial killer is the Phantom? I'm not sure, Juan. Those who doubt always tries to fit their own guesses into facts, but I read from fact and see if my judgment fits. This is what I have to searching for. The facts know to us. As I talk, I bend over and sniff Grace Servant's body. So I was right after all. I think we can skip the research and directly identify the murderer, but I need you to help me with the searches first. So what we're doing? Oh, this is beautiful! The air is filled with the source for a set. Yes, this is the source of the set. I'm standing in the yard in front of the mansion, sniffing out the fabric of nursery. A man is carrying phone next to me. I didn't know you were interested in flowers too, Doctor. Oh, I have learned some basic voluntary for professional reasons. Also, me seems to be learning quickly. Too many playing may harm the growth of new folium, so it's best not to turn off more than half the same overall length at one time. And what you are doing is textbook posturing, Mr. Josie. These plans must be well taken in the past 5 years. I see you're very proud of your endless illusion. I heard because of your tone. Just to respond even without even looking up, I raised an eyebrow. You seem to have a desire for me, Mr. Joyce. I just hope you can do your job properly, Doctor. I don't want to see boy and scared. It's your duty to find the murderer and put them an end to these horrors. Are you sure you can afford wasting your time here? In my defense, I am doing my job right here, right now.
What?
Nani? I obviously approached Josie
do it now, but we
and
can't.
whispered to him.
Cause we got no endo
You know
eyes.
who the murderer
We
is
can't
from
do
the
it
very
right now.
beginning, don't you? I don't know what you're talking about, but I know Dr. Esther should trust you with the case.
For fun.
His breathing was steady and his pulse did not quicken, so I decided to drop another bomb. She is here, isn't she?
No, we can't.
The second bomb was obviously caused damage, dodging Bob's quickly. He hands seems to be focused on the rosemary stem. I can tell that he's trying to calm himself down. I understand the thing you said, Doctor, but you made me uncomfortable. It's already. It's alright. All the puzzles will clear up soon. I let go of his wrist and took off the watch. It's about time. Come with me, please. Let's settle this matter once and for all. What are we doing? When I stepped into the hall, everyone was present except Hoa and the bed present Soa. Doctor, I gathered everyone here at your request. Thank you, Doctor. It's time. I scanned around, pressing to everyone's face before I cleared my throat. Hey, is this true you found the murder explicitly? Well, how about you call me someone else? Whatever, stop putting up against and tell us who it is. Sure, the conclusion is Grace killed Mr. Josie, but he was not responsible for the other 3 murders. And I was seeing the stone among us then, Doctor? Yes, but we get to the point later. First, let's look at how what Josie was murdered. After all, this is the very reason I'm here now, Dr. Edson knew it. As Dr. Edson knew it, because I went over it what I was going to say in my head. It's all started 5 years ago, if not any earlier. Mr. had 2 later disappearances. One went story and the other went missing years ago. Let's just call the other one 2, 5 years ago, and Tony his shirt funny and laughed when it came from relief. This was just an hour's busy. What Mr. Joyce truly wished to find out was the test cost the destiny on 2. Every sign leads to the fact that the high house for the church was headed to the test, but no visiting workers was left. Naturally, according to Raven, no one from the church was directly involved. The test was led by Jackal. Gray's servant was the materials supplier. Raven had an activity on materials. Oh, what was the team then made? Wait, what do you mean by materials? I think you know Jackal better than me. It wasn't the first time he heard from the human subject. That's ridiculous! Is she talking about human subject? How could she get away with unwanted attention? I believe you noticed, Dr. Tesla. Back then, in South Button, there was a place to take it off of electricity. Josium! Is it true? You married the church just for the occasional business? Tesla inside the whole hall. Everyone held their breath and looked up the same person. Just the person slowly closed his eyes.
Thank God! Thank God! Okay, he's actually dead.
I know, it's just indeed a mistake. I asked him about Miss Joseph's blown the test. She told me he was kept in the dark all alone, right, until the sea was turned to ruins. But can we take her word for it? I believe yes. Raven confessed after she saw Mr. Joseph's note, which pointed out Mr. Joseph was onto Grace Sullivan. The test on human subject led to Sullivan's fall. Once revealed, the truth was clear everyone's involved. So, Grace Sullivan's effect acted first and killed the world. This explains Grace Sullivan's motive. After Jackal's death and Sue kidnapped, Raven became sure Grace Sullivan means to stun everyone involved. She made the confidence known. She's her dies in Grace Sullivan's hand. I don't think she have any reasons to lie. I was there too. I believe she was telling the truth. Now I know. Wait, I'm not sure I'm following. That isn't the cause the Conceal and Grace Sullivan motive. I got this part. But Josiah, you know what was after these years? Why did you keep your mouth shut? What the hell is your plan?
Yeah, cool.
That's excellent. I believe Mr. Joseph will give his cousin explain himself. But before that, let's return to the kid himself. The killer of Jackal, Space, Grace Sullivan, and Raven is still among us. Nani? But the father just told us. Grace Sullivan's killed the world. Jackal and killed Soa. Raven then killed him to save Soa and cost her life. That means everything, right? It's a fun story, but I believe you left out something important. Luigi, the blood widow! Yes, why about to say my sound far before I like to begin with the 2 murders after Mr. Joyce. In no circumstance, Dr. explaining makes perfect sense. If not for the blood with writing, Luigi leaving land in German. If it was Grace Sullivan, he apparently didn't kill for revenge. Or on the other hand, the wind was willing to search distraction. Then why did we see it near Mr. Joyce's body? True. Just said they found Mr. Joyce's Grace Sullivan was also there with the knife in his back. But when they got Mr. Joyce to the emergency room and returned, Grace Sullivan was gone. I examined Grace Sullivan's body person
know he
trying
do
to
that
get an
quick.
answer.
Oh my god.
The back wound went to the heart, faded blow. And the wound was harmed so much it's safe to say he died exactly around the time Mr. Joy's death. NANI?! Which means the cause wasn't the death that killed the survivor of waiting before it was finally put to rest. That's indeed definitely logical. To begin with, it's hard to imagine all three directly involved the test should show up and search them together. That's a highly continuously. The killing was from revenge. And the three victims shared one thing in common, the first test 5 years ago. So all of those people just dead, it was the best reason to see these three dead. The Hall sons, after my cousin, it was more than obvious. Doctor, that was very sound wisdom, but I'm gonna say the couldn't believe the unfortunate process of guilt. Yes, Boy and I was victim of the whole 5 years ago, but that doesn't think we're guilty. I'd like to remind you, both of us were by your side when the tumor took place. You're right, murder doesn't make you murderer, but there are too many things about you that makes no sense. You knew exactly what happened 5 years ago, but you never said anything to Mistress after joining Black Boy 2. You know Jackal was responsible for the tragedy, but you still made her boy on governess notice. You knew more tragedy would fall if they got their hands on Mr. Joyce's legacy, but you still invited them here. Unless, of course, nothing will walk off the menu alive in your plan. Utter scribbleish. Say whatever you want. Everyone's here, including yourself, is our alibi. As long as it's everything you say is just really fancy. I know it would eventually come to this. I saw you pull up the code Action speaks louder than words, and that's how I'm going to put through my theory. Consequently going to your side? I'm ready, Doctor. I turned to the face of the Grimlock. I'm going to burn every rose in the yard. I found surprise on Dr. Saban's faces, but before the cook spoke, someone broke down King fast. Stop it! You can't do this! Share this thing why doesn't give me her consent. You! Don't worry, Miss Josie. Dr. Sylvia the chest was burned down 5 years ago, but Rosie survived. It might take Killer some time before she repel even full. It's time for us to find out whether Rosemary truly stands here or not. Just please, stop it! The husky scream came from the man in the prison cruising. He soon began to come to everyone Juice's case. I'll confess, I killed Great Silver Jackal and Raven.
What's in that book?
Nani? What's going on? I'm lost here! So he did it? I'll leave the details from the murder himself. And before that, I'm afraid we have to separate training from Mr. Joyce. Before I finish my work, hell has come out of the hiding place close to It's a trap. I put a smile on the judge's face. To everyone's surprise, there was a small step in front of him. Don't trust him, Bonyon. Miss Sucker, I know how you feel. Shut up, you know nothing about us. This, all of us, is my plan, my revenge. And this is the beginning of... Oh, he said beginning of... I'm gonna fight, huh? Oh, really? Oh, what is that? What is that? What is that? This is so easy! Bonyon, you just bullshit. Bye, bye, bye! Oh, I miss. I've dodged because she's gonna bite me! Oh, what is she doing? I dodged! Didn't I dodge? Oh, not that technique, not that. No, 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 dodge, 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 dodge!
You know what this is? This is the second split. This is the second end city. The second end city is the small one. The will end
This would definitely kill you, Bonyon. I promise you. Get him, get him, get him!
It's gonna be so long.
Oh, damn! That took a lot of damage! Are we done?
You're gonna punch me off.
Just quiet, Miss Bonyon. Your enemies are all gone. You can't stop now, Bonyon. No, I can't stop. You don't understand. I used to be very good to Mr. Bobby, a loyal child soldier, back from the battlefield. In the church, I met Sarah and Joey, my beloved little sister and brother. For the first time in my little life, I felt there was something worth choosing in the world, but that woman named Jackal, she has been making motion to all the orphans named achievement. I knew something wasn't right, so I started my own investigation. And thought I had been doing it secretly, but they were still alerted. Within a great serpent, someone knew my plan to confront Sensei, so they pushed me down the stairs. When I woke up again, I have already been sent to into the hospital outside Seth Fountain. I tried several times to leave. I wanted to go to Seth Fountain and steal a little away, but at the time, I hadn't recovered from my leg injury, so all my suit failed. But one day, I led to a newspaper called Surfer and became a deadly suit. Bonyon. Over the years, I've done many things in all resources I could possibly ask to. I even used my ability to elude my enemies. Protect persecution, that was the name of the equipment. It was the creature powerful persecution by profiling the copy of the first Holy Word Jeffrey. How do you know about all this, Banyan? They did those human experiments on the hill to play out the sick craving for power. In the end, the project failed. 6,000 was born, and my little brother came to be the meanest monster who killed our sister. What? The Phantom is too?
Child, what have you
They
done?
all deserve to die. So I used Grace to kill Jackal so that I didn't have to get her evil blood on my hands. Grace was the next. His first death was an accident, but I didn't want to let him off easy.
Bedwalk!
I was right.
Wait, what do you
Everyone's
want,
mentioned she
Bedwalk?
was also often
Why don't
taken
you
by
have
the Grace
Bedwalk?
King.
What the
It was
hell?
simply training her than necessary.
Hey,
So I
I'm-
controlled Grace 7 to take Soul to have killed him against her own thoughts. As for Raven, she was taking it as the mistake easily. After everything she has done, she started to open all of a sudden. I couldn't stop laughing when I first heard about that. Trying to go straight to make a decision, huh? No way. Bad people only deserve to die alone in the shadow.
Wait, what's that?
So you controlled Solo to kill her. You indeed cursed doctor.
Is that
The
game
bitterness
from
of being killed by someone she had killed and protected. She must taste it, just like my sister did. I should have thought of this earlier. I thought the Merkers of Venge that have been hiding this it was Josian, but I didn't know. You have been holding such violent hatred. Anyway, this should be the end of the Revenge. They're all gone. The end? No, Doctor. Do you think that Revenge is complete after I killed the 3 pawns? I know the issues. I know this boy is behind all this. When first I realized Suckers was behind the project, I found the idea ways to touch from the world. On my mouth, but I failed to say anything. My usual kindness has been overwhelmed by Bohan's deep resistance. Her visit with revenge is too just to be urged by sense of. So I can't stop now. Bohan gave me a close smile. She reached out her hand and gently stroked Cody's cheeks. You'll protect me, right, Joffrey? Yes, Boyan, my dear big sister. Jersey was the calm look on his face, but I saw him change to Christian on it. The next moment, the Fiend's Roy came from nowhere.
I'm back here.
What the fuck? The hideous monster emerged out the aisle behind Boyan and Josian. In the next second, the monster took Boyan and Josian to vanish. We all know the monster's name, but only Josian came back tested the chocolate to say it out. It was the Phantom Mrs. Fountain! Oh no. Okay, fragment 4, here we go. One morning, Jeffrey woke up and found himself turned into a giant beetle. In the mirror, he saw his son's body, heart, extremity, and 6 legs. Jeffrey, getting dressed and calmed down for breakfast, he heard someone calling him. It was not Brian or Shio. It was one of the doctors. Jeffrey remembered he did get from Jeffrey last night, but he took it to the overboard. He awkwardly dragged his 6 legs and went downstairs, but lost balance and rolled down the stairs. Jeffrey was walking to the cafeteria. There were many doctors walking around, but no one was casting to look at him.
I'm dying.
Breakfast was fried sausages and orange juice. The sausages were crispy with cheese inside, but taste like machines to listen to Jeffrey. It's because I'm a beer now. Jeffrey looked at the sausages in the plate in confusion. He mixed the sausages with rosemary that Brian used to make. She cooked the rosemary himself. Brian beef patties never taste like medicine, Jeffrey thought, so smacking his lips. The doctors were still walking around. Jeffrey raised his hand. Excuse me, but I think I turned this into a beetle. While the doctors came to him, it was the lady who was long black hair. Beetles don't eat sausages, said the doctor. After breakfast, Sensei came to pick Jeffrey up. In the car, Jeffrey asked him, "Didn't I look like a beetle, Sensei?" "Why are you talking about CLE?" Sensei responded without even looking back.
That sounds so weird.
Jeffrey looked at him in a car without window. He was still a beetle. Why couldn't he see? "Can I be a doctor as a beetle?" Jeffrey hesitated for a moment to ask again. Sissy cast a glance at him in the received bill and said, "Did you have a night meal?" "I'll just your doses. We can talk about the beetle thing when we..." Jeffrey stuck into the back door. He went upstairs with his bloody 6 legs,
Shit!
which was easier than going downstairs. He knocked on the door and Shield with one of his 6 legs. "Shield, it's me, Jeffrey." The door opened and cracked. Shield can open and busted through until she saw him. "What have they done to you?" Shield can see my changes. Jeffrey was happy at the same time. "What should I do? I'm a beer now, but no one seems to notice my heart and the no one cares about me."
Dude, that was my
"I
pet.
care about you, Joey." "So they're
That's my
going on.
pet.
We both care about you very much. You're important to
Okay,
us," said Shield.
actually not my
"Then
pet.
can I still be a human?"
I have to go to
"I'll figure it out and turn you back, Jeffrey. Trust me." Seeing Shield tears stream down.
I don't want my
so
diamond.
sad.
Keep my diamond.
Shield stood on tiptoe and stroked her giant head. I'll figure it out.
Oh shit!
Unless you return
Oh
back."
shit! What
Jeffrey
happened?
became paler, taller, and then dead after he turned into a beetle.
Oh, cat.
He had always wished to go taller so that he needed to protect his own big sis. So maybe turning to a bear wasn't so bad. But he still protected the human boy. Go get some sleep. Maybe you'll feel better later. Jeffrey knew absurdly and went back to his own room. When Jeffrey woke up again, he found out he was no longer a beetle. He cheerfully got out bed, pulled his little shirt, shield, imagine point, and his baby blue pants. That's right, I'm Jeffrey, a human boy, not a beetle. He opened the door and saw the doctor with long black hair and sensei. He looked stunned that he saw him. Jeffrey didn't understand why they were so shocked. He started to run faster and faster. He didn't know why he couldn't run so fast if he still have the 6 speed. He just wanted to see Jill and her teller. Jeffrey is no longer a beetle. Yay! Happy ending. Alright guys, that's for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Now say button if you enjoyed this video. If you're new to this channel, subscribe today for any content like right here. Also, for any questions, leave comments below. Of course, you enjoy. I have questions in the next one. Alright!